Hello and welcome to another video of Naval Action with 1GB. Today we are going to see an overview of the 3 new ships that were included in yesterday's patch. As you might know, and if you don't, well, now you will know, February 11th there was a new patch, changes on things, and one of them was the introduction of 3 new ships. 3 new ships that you have to sail and do damage with in order to unlock your higher ships. Even if you already had them before, you still will have to unlock well, the next ships in line using these new ones. Now the first ship that was introduced is the Privateer. The Privateer, you can see it now. It's a schooner. It's actually very similar to the Lynx, and it shares a lot of things. Actually, it's not that it shares a lot of things, it's that it's extremely similar. Now there are a couple of differences. It has one extra topsail and accordingly is slightly faster. Also is heavier armed, because now you will have 6 guns per side instead of the 4 the Lynx usually have. Now the gun options are the same as in the Lynx. 4 pounders, 6 pounders, and carronade 12 pounders, and of course the long versions of the cannons as well. It's 6 guns per side, and it also has a bigger crew. Instead of the normal 40 the Lynx has, it has 55. It also has I think a somewhat stronger hull, which kind of helps absorbing damage. Is not good absorbing damage at all, it's a very light ship, but it kind of stands damage better than the Lynx. At least is what I think from my experience with it. Now this is a pretty fun ship to play, and well, if you have seen my how to sail the Lynx video, which I'm going to link down in the description and on the screen, you will know that well, that ship was really good as a distraction in big fleet PvP. Now if you take the Lynx, you have 2 more guns per side and 15 more crew and make it slightly faster, you have a Privateer. Pretty fun ship to sail, and well, a nice addition to the game. The second ship that you have available after the new patch is the Navy Brig. Now the Navy Brig is well, you need 10k damage in the Privateer to unlock the next ship, and if you already have the next ship in the line, which is a standard brig, you will be able to sail this one. Now, in very much the same fashion as the Privateer compared with the Lynx, the brig is a more powerful version of the standard brig. Being a navy version means it's a military vessel. It has again somewhat stronger hull damage, hull armor, and yeah, well, now we see a guided torpedo, which is going to go down very quickly, which is another of the things I'm going to speak in a second. Well, back to the ship. It has 9 guns per side, which means it has 1 extra gun in each broadside than the standard brig. Has higher numbers of crew, 155, which is actually pretty good. And yeah, it's I think it's even a bit faster than the brig, but not so much. Also the hull is more resistant to damage, and well, it retains the characteristics that make the brig a pretty good ship. Again, if you want to see more about the brig, I am going to link the video I have about the ship and describing it and giving proper advice on how to use it. The naval brig is very similar to the standard one. Gun selection again is the same as in the standard brig: 6 pounders, 4 pounders, or carronades, 12 or 18 pounders. And it has 2 stern chasers with carronades, so well, in that sense it's very similar to the standard brig. Probably the most noteworthy thing about this ship is how beautiful it is. It's extremely good looking. Some people don't like the color scheme on that. I actually like it a lot. It's black with yellow stripes and some red paint in the quarterdeck. I quite like it a lot, to be honest. So, yep, those are two of the new ships. In order to move past the naval brig and to unlock the next ship in the trajectory, you will need 20k damage. The next one, and the favorite of mine, this is my favorite of the three personally, is the one I like the most. And while the others are really cool, this I think is lovely. It's the Cerberus. Is the light frigate. Now, as the name pretty much gives away, it's a lighter frigate. Is kind of a light surprise in many ways. It's a 6th rate frigate with a total of 26 guns, 28 if we count the stern chasers. It has 13 guns per side, and it goes a long way to close and narrow the gap between the snow and the surprise, which until now was huge because the surprise is so much better than the snow. Now this ship has 13 guns and it can load up to 9-pounder standard guns or long guns. You can also load carbonates with this, but honestly this is not a ship for carbonates. This is a ship for the 9-pounders. The 9-pounder is a pretty respectable weapon. It actually does decent damage, has decent penetration, has a very fast reload rate. So yeah, in a ship as maneuverable as this, and this one is really maneuverable, it's a really fun ship to sail. It's a nice addition. Of course, being lighter than the surprise, you can't expect to have a lot of armor. It has light armor. This is still enough to, well, fight lighter ships, but against heavier foes doesn't last long. As I said, it has 13 guns per side, 9-pounders, and it has 2 stern chasers, which can be carbonates of 12 or 18 pounds. Overall, really nice ship, decently quick, very maneuverable, and it comes with 195 sailors. So yep, that's the new light frigate, aka the Cerberus. Now of course this is not everything that was added in this last patch. There are several new things coming, and that of course are already into the game. There are two new types of guns. We have the long versions of the 24-pounder guns and the 32-pounder guns. Of course, I guess that people who love the Constitution are going to be really happy because of the long 24-pounder guns. But I'm not a huge fan of the long versions of the guns because the reload suffers quite a little bit. So I like standards more because the reload is faster and they still have enough damage and range. But well, if your thing is to, well, have better range, you have the chance to have long 24s and 32s if you want to. Also, there's a new mode, or actually color mode. Essentially they added a colorblind mode into the options. You can go into the options and change the color settings, and you will have the colorblind mode there. Enemies names will appear in black, and friendly ships will appear in blue. That way, people who have problems and they confuse red with green, which is actually pretty common, colorblind people are really numerous, well, that's going to help quite a little bit. I'm actually thinking of changing my settings in game to colorblind mode for the videos. I haven't done so yet, as you can see in the gameplay, but let me know please in the commentaries if you would like me to change the color to colorblind mode. Maybe some of you are colorblind, I don't know. So, well, if you think it could help you and make the videos better for you to watch, please, by any means, let me know. And also finally there's kind of an announcement done. It's actually not an announcement as such, it's more like a hint. In the patch notes, the developers stated that they are not going to add new content to the sea trials from now on. In other words, they are going to, from now on, after of course a period of time where they are going to fine-tune the things they have just introduced, the new ships, the new guns, and some other things I'm going to mention in a second. After that, balancing and toying and tinkering and fixing whatever needs to be fixed, they are going to fully concentrate on OpenSea and the open world. Now there are already some screenshots of open world in the Facebook account of Naval Action, and there's even a video, a very short video, quite of a teaser, about how open world will look like. And of course the link is going to be both in the description and in the screen up there, so you can click on it and take a look. It's very short, it's of course just extremely alpha, but that's how open world will look at least at the beginning. We will see later on. So yeah, well, that's mostly it for the new things. Now I'm going to comment a thing I feel, at least I think, changed with the new patch, and that's RAMs. Probably a lot of you are either annoyed or whatever with the people who intentionally ram others. I think it's a very gamey tactic. Now let me explicit why. Historically speaking, and realistically speaking, ship like this with masts and sails and all that stuff, if it hits immovable object, if it rams something, well, it's going to suffer a extreme shock, and the shock would be so severe that the backstays, the rigging that keeps the masts in the upright position, well, some of that rigging would snap because of inertia. Well, yeah, the hull has hit something, but the masts still tend to go forward. So it was not uncommon for ships of the time to lose masts as they ram someone. Now, in game, you are not going to lose your masts if you ram someone, but it seems that the flooding caused by ramming has increased a lot, and by a lot I mean a huge lot, especially for the rammer. The guy who's been rammed is going to suffer a sizable amount of flooding. It's also been increased, I think it has been at least, but the rammer seriously is going to go down in seconds if he intentionally rams someone else. Now I think that's extremely good, because there are a lot of people who I guess they are gunnery challenged or whatever, and they can't hit anything, or the only thing they know how to do is to ram others. Well, now intentional ram is going to come for a huge cost, because you're going to essentially lose your ship, and the damage you cause is not going to be even close to be proportional to the damage you suffer. So I think that's a huge very good thing. Of course, I'm speaking out of impressions here. There's absolutely nothing said in the patch notes. There's absolutely no official statement about this. But since the patch, I have noticed that really rams now, yeah, they are problematic for the one who rams. So yeah, well, that's all for now. That's all the new stuff that's coming, and that's all the new things that are in Naval Action after this patch. Now the next step is going to be open world. Man, I can't wait, and I really am looking forward to that, because it's going to be a totally new experience, and finally we will get a taste of, well, the potential of this game as an MMO, and not just in the team deathmatch games we have seen until now. So, well guys, I hope this video helped in letting you know what's new in the game, and well, what to expect if you haven't played Naval Action since the patch was introduced. And maybe to well take a look at the new ships from a closer perspective if you haven't unlocked them yet. So as always, I thank you very much for watching and see you later.